Are you afraid of every job application that asks for knowledge of GDDs? If this is the case, or you just want to properly organize the design of your next indie game, then you probably have tons of questions about how to tackle the game design document, and we are here to answer some of those questions. Hello guys, this is Duilio here, but you can call me Dewey or Dewey, and welcome to this video series about creating game design documents. We are here to learn how to create a usable, organic and outstanding GDD. This is video number 6 in the series, and on this occasion we will jump into the waters of planning your game design documentation. If you missed the previous ones, by the end of this video I will direct you to the list that includes everything we have covered so far. At least you should check the low-level document video for context, so I'm leaving a card up here so you have that video at hand. I think this is a fair question. Nobody really knows where to begin when creating a GDD, but let me offer you some peace of mind. If you have been following my videos, you already have a concept document, a high-level document, and a low-level document, so you already know a lot about your project. You have a vision, and you are moving forward to execute it. However, before beginning with the dreaded GDD, I want to give you more tools. I want to discuss 4 good documentation practices you should keep in mind. Good practice number 1. Instead of a single game design document, use several documents. I've seen GDDs that go for pages and pages, monolithic documents that nobody ever wants to read. But having multiple and organized documents, emphasis on organized, has several advantages for your documentation. It provides more visibility over your work, both for you and your team. It allows you to work in smaller documents and therefore focusing on the specific matter at hand. Scalability. Smaller documents allow for a more scalable project, and it's easier to update. This approach, it's easier to keep the project up to date, as you don't need to follow a version control pipeline. Good practice number 2, create a control document. The control document, which you can also call the documentation hub, is a single spreadsheet or database that we will use to organize and track every single one of the documents in the GDD. This allows to track all your documents in one place and offer a reading guide to your reader. Organizing the information in this way allows readers to understand where to begin and the overall theme of each document. We talked about organizing our design docs, so tracking them in one place is a great practice to achieve this objective. Good practice number 3. Use a naming convention. If all docs have a similar name pattern, you can immediately recognize if a file belongs to your project or not. I usually add a tag to my projects that represent the name of the game, but if you're working for a single project, it's recommended to add discipline tags like ND for narrative design or GD for game design, anything you can come up with. Tags allow team members to instantly understand what the document is about and helps them get ready for the content that comes ahead. Good practice number 4, create a template document. This is the document that standardizes how every other document in the project will be formatted. It offers a matrix for every other doc in the project. Always remember, consistency is one of the most important aspects of every documentation project, so a template comes in really handy. This also helps towards the identity of the project, so it has bonus points. Of all these practices, what I like to do first when I begin a documentation process is begin with a template document. I actually go with this even before starting with a high-level document. So let me show you how I create one of these, because I want to be crystal clear about how important they are. While some documentation tools include a feature that allows you to create templates, I still believe it's important to create the template document. It's like documenting the documentation process, if you will. So I will just head to simple Google Docs and begin with my template. After the title, usually I begin with a description, which includes all my intentions for this template. Note that I started the title with 1 point and then the name. This allows me to better articulate the document and then reference specific parts of this doc. It's not mandatory, and sometimes I avoid this practice, but it has proven to be useful more than once. Then it's time for our naming convention. Explain how every document will be named. And now that we are here, apply this rule to our template. Finally, let's talk about the format. Decide which headings you will use and how. Heading type, font size, alignment, every single detail about the text format. Do the same for normal text and make sure you apply this format to the template document as well. You can also add formatting rules for tables and images. I do this depending on the project, but most of the time it's there in my template documents. Because we are on Google Docs, we have to make sure we change every heading and text to match our template. What you can do now is copy this template before starting a new document, making sure your new documents already have the documentation rules. Remember, consistency is one of the most important aspects of any written work. I could ramble for hours about this, but for now, I'll just leave you with this as the video's takeaway. Very well, guys. Now you have a lot of tricks of the trades in your toolbox, so you can better work on your documentation efforts. Up next, we will craft a control document to properly organize our GDD. If you missed the previous videos, I am leaving here a link to the entire list for this video series, so you can have a better grasp of what we want to cover here. Nothing more to add this time. Remember to like the video and subscribe to my channel so you do not miss the next content. Thank you for joining me. See you on the next one.